This is for Algebra 1, and this is going over 4.2. Hold on, let me find it. Writing equations in point-slope form. So this is going to be a very quick video. You're going to have to probably pause it. Make sure you read through your book on page 182 to 183. I just have a few minutes to make this for the ones who've been absent. And if you want to watch it again if you missed some of the things in class. So here it is. So writing in point-slope form. So I'm going to move it to my notes. So in 4.2, basically this should say writing equations in point-slope form. Here is your form. This is the formula that you want to think about. Y minus y sub 1 equals m times the quantity of x minus x sub 1. Now you've seen m before, and that is the slope. Y sub 1 and x sub 1 is the given point. So in order to graph a line, you need a couple things. You either need the slope and 1 point, or you need 2 points, or you need an equation. So in this case, we're going to be given a point and we're going to be given a slope. And then we can write the equation in what we call point-slope form if you're given the point and you're given the slope. Don't you love that name? Point-slope form is because you have a point and you have a slope. So if you're given the point 3, 2, given slope of 1/2. Now I did this example in class, so this is not in your book. If your point's 3, 2, then the y minus y sub 1, so that's 2, slope is 1/2. X, this y and x, this x and y here, always stay like this. This is just another point on the line, any other point, but don't substitute any numbers here. And then x minus x sub 1, which is 3. So some of your questions will say, just write in point-slope form given the point and given the slope. So example 1 had negative 8, 3 with the slope of 1/2, or 1/4, excuse me. So here, sometimes I'll rewrite the formula over and over again until I have it memorized. So then y minus 3, your slope is 1/4. Now be careful here. The formula is x minus the x sub 1. Well, our x sub 1 is a negative 8. So you need to make sure you do x plus 8. Do not leave your equation like this with a double sign. But I showed that so people can see where I'm getting the positive 8. So your form, right, in point-slope form, stops right there. Then point, slope, and then the y was a negative. So it's a y plus 1, negative 2, x minus 3. So that's just writing in point-slope form. If there is a number, this is the monitoring progress, number 1 and 2 at the bottom of the page, 4, 0, well notice y minus 0, but don't ever leave it like that. Make sure you finish it with y equals the negative 2/3 parentheses x minus 4. This is still point-slope form, not slope-intercept, because you still have this negative 2/3 times the x minus 4. Okay, so then the question changes to writing it in, you can write then in slope-intercept form. If you have in point-slope form, you could write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form by distributing the negative 2. Let me see, that question came from this one. So I had them take this problem, and then I had them change it to the slope-intercept form. Well, we need to distribute the negative 2 to each, and then subtract 1 to get y by itself. Okay, so then I had them change the other one to slope-intercept form. All right, so example 2, given 2 points. Now you're given 2 points. Now you want to write it in slope-intercept form. Your ultimate goal is to write it in slope-intercept form. So notice though, the other day we were able to write in slope-intercept form when we found the slope, and we knew the y-intercept because one of the x values were 0. Well, that's not true in these points. So we can find the slope. So number 1, you're going to find a slope. Number 2, you're going to pick one of the points. It doesn't matter which one, and I went ahead and showed both here. That I picked 1, 2 here, and this one I picked 3, negative 2. You can pick either point. By the time you simplify it out in slope-intercept form, it's the same equation. So when you find a slope, pick a point, put it in point-slope form. I don't know if I ever finished that. Yeah. So put it in point-slope form, and then change to slope-intercept. Okay, then the other thing, monitoring progress number 5 on page 183 has your function notation. Same thing to where you have g of 2 equals 3, g of 6 equals 5, and you have 2, 3, 6, 5, and find your slope, put it into point slope form, change it around. The only thing was when you do your final answer, if it's a function, if it's in function notation, rewrite that y of like g of x. The reason I picked g is because that's what was given in here. It says write a function, linear function g with the values. So here's our function notation. Don't leave it y, and that's going to be a mistake some of us are going to keep making. So we're just going to keep working on that. Okay, so that is what point slope form is. That's a quick, very quick detailed.